Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. Who do you think will win in the battle between Colossus versus Hercules? The confrontation between steel and myth. Colossus, whose real name is Piotr Rasputin, possesses the ability to transform his entire body into an organic metal called organic steel. In this form, he has superhuman strength, near absolute endurance, and the ability to withstand extremely powerful attacks. He can lift hundreds of tons, block artillery shells, and charge at powerful enemies like Juggernaut or Apocalypse. Not only is he a warrior, Colossus also has a kind heart and a high fighting spirit for his teammate. Hercules, on the other hand, is the embodiment of mythical power. As the son of Zeus, Hercules has fought great monsters in mythology and has strength far beyond that of ordinary people. He has faced the Hulk, Thor, and many other great characters in the Marvel Universe. Not only is Hercules strong, he also has the ability to heal, a lifespan that lasts for millennia, and a wild, confident, and godlike fighting style. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications and click the bell icon. Thank you very much. Colossus, also known as Piotr Rasputin, is one of the mutants who possesses superior strength thanks to the ability to transform his entire biological structure into a special metal. Organic osmium steel from another dimension. When his body transforms, every cell of his skin, muscles, and bones is replaced with this metal, creating a solid and extremely durable biological armor. This armor also increases his physical strength to superhuman levels, allowing him to lift, throw, and smash objects of enormous weight with just his hands. Colossus already possesses strength on par with the likes of Doc Samson, The Thing, She-Hulk, and Thundra. Official measurements estimate his lifting power to be between 70 and 75 tons in his normal state. What's more, this is only the beginning of his potential. Professor Xavier believes that Colossus's physical abilities will continue to grow over time, and he is fully capable of reaching the Class 100 level, a milestone only achieved by entities like The Thing, the Abomination, Hulk, or Thor. When Colossus is in his steel form, his height increases slightly and his physique becomes more massive. His steel skin reflects light like a mirror, creating a cold, shimmering effect whenever he moves in the dark or under the sun. Each heavy step creates an echo, like the sound of a hammer hitting a steel floor. He is virtually immune to ballistics, fire, extreme pressure, and most forms of conventional energy. This formidable, destructive power has made Colossus one of the most important fighting pillars of the X-Men squad. When he transforms into his armored form, his entire skin, musculature, circulatory system, and internal organs are replaced by an impenetrable metal alloy. When Colossus in his armored form confronts the Hulk, he delivers a powerful blow that causes the Hulk to feel real pain, something very few opponents are able to do. However, instead of killing him, the blow only infuriates the Hulk, igniting an endless rage within him. After the events of the Mutant Massacre in X-Men 188, Magneto restructured Colossus's cells after a severe injury. Since then, Colossus's physical strength has been increasingly enhanced, far beyond the time when he first joined the X-Men. He does not need to breathe, eat, or absorb water to sustain life. He can survive being shot with large caliber bullets, endure high-powered explosions, be thrown from heights of hundreds of meters, or be impacted by extremely powerful electrical sources. Even magical attacks cause only limited damage to his body. Although he has not reached the stature of cosmic entities such as Thor, Gladiator, Red Hulk, or Green Hulk, he is still superior to most opponents on a normal level. His stamina and endurance make Colossus virtually invulnerable in fierce battles. Only beings with near cosmic power like the Sentry, the omnipotent Odin, or the Heralds of Galactus can truly endanger him. During the Fear Self storyline, Magic used magic to transport herself, Colossus, and Kitty Pryde to the Crimson Cosmos dimension to directly confront Cyttorak, the ancient entity and source of Juggernaut's power. There they informed Cyttorak that Cain Marko, who wielded his power, had been transformed into Kurith, Breaker of Stone, and was being controlled by the ancient entity known as the Serpent. In response to this betrayal, Colossus offered to make a deal, offering his body and will to become the new successor, to confront and stop Kurith. Cyttorak accepted. In that moment, Colossus was imbued with immense power, becoming the new incarnation of Juggernaut. With his newfound power, he succeeded in repelling Cain Marko, forcing him to retreat until he was summoned again by the Serpent. After After this event, a gathering place of powerful magical entities, he was displeased to learn that a portion of the Phoenix Force, one of the primal forces of the universe, had fused with Colossus, creating a hybrid entity between Juggernaut and Phoenix. This caused Cyttorak to feel that his authority had been severely violated. When Colossus sought to be freed from the bonds of Cyttorak's power, he not only refused, but easily crushed all attempts at rebellion. Cyttorak coldly declared that he would suffer the consequences of daring to defy his authority. Without hesitation, Cyttorak banished Colossus from the Crimson Cosmos, ending Juggernaut's power over him. Despite no longer possessing the unlimited power that Cyttorak once granted him, Colossus is still considered one of the most powerful mutants. With strength rated at class 100, he possesses near infinite levels of support, attack, and endurance, on par with the strongest individuals on Earth. Despite being disconnected from Cyttorak's power, Colossus remains a formidable warrior. Other superhumans, whether heroes or foes, have acknowledged Colossus's absolute power even when he's no longer a lackey of Cyttorak. His main rival in physical strength is probably Namor the Submariner, also a mutant. Many people argue that Juggernaut is significantly stronger than Colossus, but Juggernaut is not a mutant. When considering Colossus compared to other strongman characters, you have to factor this into the equation. Colossus is a team-based character, not a team-buster character like the Hulk. Team-based strongmen like Colossus, the Thing, Wonder Man, and Sasquatch will often be outmatched against team busters like the Hulk, Thor, and Namor. Team-based strongmen often serve one or both of two purposes. Colossus is not as popular with comic book fans as the Thing, and team-based strongmen like Colossus lose as many fights as they win. That was their purpose from the start. They fight an uphill battle against team busters because they were never meant to fight them in the first place. Although he doesn't have the destructive instincts of the Hulk or the divine power of Thor, Colossus is still an irreplaceable part of any fighting squad. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best. Thank you very much. Hercules is a legendary Greek demigod, the son of the god king Zeus of Olympus and a mortal woman named Alcmena. He was born from the union of the divine and the mortal, carrying the blood of both worlds. Alcmena is not just an ordinary mortal woman, but also a direct descendant of Zeus through many generations, making the connection between Hercules and the gods even deeper. More than 3,000 years ago, Zeus, in his foresight as a powerful god, realized that a new protective force was needed to face the dangers lurking both humanity and Olympus. To carry out that intention, he disguised himself as the general Amphitryon, husband of Alcmena, and from that, Hercules was born, a symbol of strength, courage, and indomitable spirit. Is the embodiment of strength far beyond human standards. In a fateful moment, he replaced Atlas in shouldering the immeasurable weight of the sky. Even for a short time, holding up the dome of the sky was a feat beyond the reach of anyone, even many gods. Hercules was not an invincible being. Despite his immense power, his fate was sealed by the poisonous blood of a centaur, a tragic end that showed that even the strongest cannot escape the whirlpool of fate. However, he was always honored as the equal of Thor, the famous Asgardian god of thunder. Hercules once faced the world-breaker Hulk, one of the most powerful symbols of destruction the world has ever known. Though the Hulk's rage could have crushed the entire planet, Hercules did not falter. He fought with all his strength and fortitude to the point that he was able to stop the Hulk, at least for that moment of fierce battle, creating aftershocks that resounded like thunder in a clear sky. No matter who the opponent was, Hercules was always ready to face it, like a solid wall in the midst of a chaotic storm. Hercules once declared that he possessed enough strength to shake the entire universe, even if the universe was infinite in size. That declaration was not just a boast, but the crystallization of glorious feats recorded in mythological history. One of the first feats was the confrontation between Hercules and the Nemean lion. It was no ordinary lion, but a direct descendant of Typhoeus, the last monster born from Gaia, endowed with primordial strength and impenetrable skin. Even with a bow and a sturdy wooden club, Hercules was still unable to harm it. The arrows bounced off the beast's skin as if they were stone, and his strongest blows left only a slight dent in its thick fur. Conventional weapons were useless. Hercules did not hesitate to engage in battle with his bare hands. His entire body was like a living machine. Every movement became decisive and strong. Every muscle tensed, resisting the wild power of the beast. He locked the lion's neck tightly, using all his strength to squeeze its breath until life disappeared in his wild eyes. After the victory, Hercules stripped the lion's skin, a natural, impenetrable armor, and wore it as a battle armor. Hercules, the great hero of Greek mythology, performed feats that even the gods had to respect. His most notorious task was to destroy the Lernaean Hydra, a ferocious entity with many heads living in the marshes of Lerna. Every time a head was cut off, 2 new ones grew in its place. Realizing that it could not be defeated by ordinary strength, Hercules and his assistant burned the cuts to prevent regeneration, finally destroying this monster forever. He must travel to the island of Erythea, located in the western Mediterranean, to bring back the mythical cattle of Geryon. The journey is not only long but also dangerous, requiring him to overcome many obstacles and fight enemies who guard the cattle. He also once carried the world on his shoulders. Replaced Atlas, the god who held the sky, in exchange for the golden apples from the sacred garden. The garden was heavily guarded by the Hesperides, the daughters of Atlas, under the direct supervision of the goddess Hera. It was Heracles' wisdom that allowed him to complete his mission without bloodshed, the most dangerous of which was to return Cerberus, the 3-headed dog who guards the gates of hell from the underworld. When he arrived in the world of the dead, Heracles did not recklessly rob. Instead, he frankly asked Hades for permission to take Cerberus, and was granted on the condition that he not use weapons. With the divine power bestowed by the blood of Zeus, Heracles became the god of strength, the embodiment of pure energy on Mount Olympus. He was also a master of martial arts. Heracles was proficient in all schools of combat, from boxing, classical wrestling, swordplay, archery, to modern martial arts. In particular, he was the one who gave birth to pancration, a fighting art that combined boxing and classical wrestling, which became the foundation for many later martial arts. Pancration is actually a powerful fighting style using boxing and wrestling techniques, but also other techniques such as kicking, holding, joint locks, and chokes on the ground, making it similar to modern mixed martial arts. With 3,000 years of combat experience, Herc possesses the most fearsome weapons in legends such as the sword of Peleus, the shield of Perseus, the arrows of Heracles, the helmet of Hades, the Nemean lion skin, and the mighty adamantine mace, or even his entire arsenal from spears, shields to guns. Combined with his raw physical strength and near unparalleled fighting skills, the god of heroes is almost unrivaled in combat, and is easily one of the most formidable armed and unarmed warriors in the Marvel Universe, with only a few people who have the raw skill and strength to match, such as Thor or Gilgamesh. Heracles broke the adamantine chains that bound Prometheus to the rock. Not even Zeus could do that. He held the sky on his shoulders, while Atlas, the mightiest of the Titans, took the golden apples from Hera's sacred grove. Zeus is the most powerful god in Greek cosmology due to his ability to create thunder, but Heracles' feats prove that he is even more powerful than Zeus. In short, Heracles is the one with the most power. In an ancient arena brought to life by cosmic entities, the atmosphere is filled with an epic atmosphere as legendary warriors from mythology and comics face off in a climactic battle. Colossus, with his solid steel body glistening in the light, opens with powerful punches like a sledgehammer, causing the ground to shake and crack into deep fissures. Hercules, the Greek hero with a confident smile, easily blocks the attack with his strong hands, then responds with a powerful shoulder thrust, pushing Colossus back a few steps. The sound of metal colliding echoes like thunder, shaking the air, and the ground beneath their feet cracks even more. Colossus, with his fighting skills honed through X-Men battles, flexibly applies grappling moves and precise counterattacks, taking advantage of the strength of his metal body to overwhelm. In contrast, Hercules relies on his ancient warrior instincts, fighting with a wild but effective style. He skillfully used the surrounding environment, from large rocks to ancient pillars, to his advantage in each attack. Each strike of the two warriors released a violent shockwave, causing the stone platform to shake violently, and fine dust flew into the air. Colossus, with his glittering metallic skin, moved with precision and coldness, while Hercules, with his bulging muscles and burning eyes, displayed the raw power of a god. The battle between Colossus and Hercules reached a dramatic climax. The steel covering Colossus' body began to crack, and the cracks that sparkled like spiderwebs spread under Hercules' terrifying strength, far beyond the limits of normal physical endurance. Hercules, despite being hit by a powerful hook in the jaw from his opponent, causing fresh blood to drip from the corner of his mouth, still smiled brightly. He seemed to find joy in pain, his eyes burning with fierce fighting spirit. Hercules' resounding laughter mixed with the sound of metal shattering, creating an emotional symphony of battle. As the battle continued, Colossus was gradually forced into a defensive position. Hercules, with the strength of a demigod, launched a powerful chokehold, suffocating Colossus in the tense moments. Although his will to fight remained strong, his steel body was no longer strong enough to withstand the pressure. Finally, Colossus collapsed, his eyes still shining with indomitable light, but his body had reached its limit. Hercules, standing tall in the middle of the arena, raised his arms high to declare victory. Colossus, a brave hero and pillar of the X-Men, fought with all his courage and skill. However, he was no match for Hercules' godly strength. In a one-on-one battle, Hercules showed absolute superiority. Colossus' steel skin, although resilient to the initial attacks, could not withstand the relentless power of the demigod. Each strike of Hercules was like a tsunami, sweeping away all the defenses, causing the audience to shake and the observing cosmic entities to exclaim in amazement. The arena, with its ancient stone pillars and fine dust floating in the air, became a witness to a legendary battle, where mythical power surpassed all mortal limits. Hercules, with his bulging muscles and invincible spirit, portrayed the image of an immortal warrior. Hercules would be the winner thanks to his divine strength, superior durability, and millennia of fighting experience. I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much.